just gonna go through the entire thing. All right, you ready? This is the PT3000. It is awesome. And the reason that you have it is that we can put 2 finger kicks per collar. So I could have a collar here and a collar here. So I use it for 2 of my dogs, right? And I can have both my dogs out working together, and each collar paired to 1 to each side can have up to 2 finger kicks. Okay. So for Gertie, we have the actual stim, and then we have the vibrate, which is her clicker. And it's also kind of her recall, because it's vibrate plus the stim. So I either turn the stim way down and now it's just the vibrate, or if it's a recall, I turn the stim up and now it's vibrate plus stim, and she needs to move her butt to me, right? To turn it on, I just push the middle button. And if you look, you have this little arrow that tells you which button it's on. So it'll cycle through. So I can see which one it is. Gertie is on this side, okay? Her collar's paired to this side, nothing happens on this side.
Okay.
And that's just because I assume most people, oh, I'm left-handed, that's why I did that. So I if I'm holding this, I like to push the buttons on this side instead of like over here. So, so Gertie's on the right side. She has been working on like a 4 or 5, and so that's her stim level. That's the level here, which we can turn here.
Okay.
All right. And she did feel an 8 once, I'm not gonna lie. That, and it goes all the way up to 18, by the way.
So
she will time travel.
Low.
Oh yeah, she's pretty low. She will time travel. So I mean, these are levels that you can feel for sure. And like humans, dogs have they have their own levels that motivate them. And the way that we teach it is how they interpret it. So because we teach it as this is paired with a command, this is paired with a motion, a picture, it becomes an activator rather than a punisher. All right. So that is her reinforcing level that we usually work on. Sometimes I can go down. And then if I turn the mode again, she was paired. That's what I meant to do. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine. So if we do this again, then this is her vibrate level. And you can tell that because of the modes on top. So if you come, do you want to grab your chair? I'll just show you this. It's going to be a little awkward. Can you see? So we're recording all this so you guys can see this again and play with it. There are 2 symbols up here right now. So one is for, you have a magnet on the bottom of this here. It's actually got the tone on, and it vibrates. Yep. It will also stim. It's on a level 3 though, okay? So that's only so that I can hear it, so I know that she felt it, right? I swear to God though, sometimes she hears this thing. I don't know that she's fully deaf.
We've debated on that before.
Yeah.
I don't know that she's fully deaf.
She's probably in the 80% deaf range.
I think so
like
too,
that.
but there are times like we opened a bag of food and that dog came running. And I'm like, we might have to redo your entire training if you can hear. But I also automatically have just been giving her the words as I've given her the hand signals, so I'm like, you know it anyways. Anyway, so that's how that works. All right, and I can hear it. It's low, it's light, but I can hear it if she's close to me. Okay. So to change those modes, you just hold this down. And there, so I'll explain. So if you just tap this, it's going around, right? If I hold it down, I'll explain all of these. That's continuous. So what that means is I can either hold this and it'll stim until I stop holding it, or I can just tap it. So that's kind of the default level, and it's going to be stimming. And you probably won't even be able to feel this level. Okay, should I put it here? It's a level 3.
No,
It's a level 4.
I can feel that one.
I can usually feel 5. I almost never can feel 4.
4 I might have felt.
Well, you'll probably feel it now because you felt a 5. It's funny, but it'll create pathways through your skin.
Yeah, I can feel it just a tiny bit, but 5 is I feel
so
it. It doesn't hurt,
she hangs out with me on a 5. That's a 6. That's a 7.
Oh, yeah. I felt my...
Sure.
My
and at
muscles
some point,
contract. That was weird.
and sometimes depending on where you place it on your arm or on her neck, you'll see a muscle twitch. It's not, that hurt. It's involuntary.
Yeah.
Right? What will happen instead is if it's too much, and this is where the leash is going to come in handy, because if we'll talk about this in a second. Trying to tell the difference with her, how to tell when you may have gone too much, as opposed to, and where the motivation is lying. Okay, so that's the continuous. That's continuous with tone and vibrate. All right. That is Nick. So that means no longer how long I hold it down, it went off.
Gotcha.
Okay. Oops. This is Nick with vibrate and tone, but it goes away. I'm holding it down still, and it went away. And that's what I actually like to use. This one's scary. Don't ever use this one on Gert.
What is it?
If I hold this down now, look at the level.
Gonna go off.
Oh,
It goes up.
And you wonder why your dog's freaking out now.
Yeah.
And it goes up fast. Okay, if I
Yeah.
start it again, it starts back at the starting level. I like using this on my super high drive dogs because if I say here and they're still running, I can tap, and as soon as they stop and turn, I can go, okay, today we're at 12. Right? As soon as they stop and say fine, then I can stop and be like, 12 got him to stop.
Yeah.
All right. And then they understand, and then they start, when they feel it ramping up, they stop sooner because they're like, that's just gonna keep going, right? So, but with Gertie, I love that feature, love that feature. But with Gertie, we do not need it. So on this one, I like to have Nick with vibrate. There's Nick with tone. All right, and I keep this level really low because it's not about the stim, it's not about the pressure. It's you did what I liked. You notice the tone changed. So I like that too because I can hear it from further away. The tone changes. There's probably some genius way to use tone and all the different 18 levels of tone. I don't know them. So that's how that works. All right. We keep this one on continuous, and we keep that one on Nick with vibrate and tone. Okay. All right, so that's how this works. To turn this off, all you do is turn it all the way down past 0.
Okay.
And then you can press any button to turn it on. If you turn it on, if you press one of these side buttons, she's gonna feel it. So you can turn it off and turn it on with the center button and nothing happens here. Or you turn it off, but you notice immediately
Gotcha.
it did that, all right? So that's something to be aware of if she's wearing this already and you're trying to play with this thing. This will automatically shut off at 3 hours. So if it's been inactive for 3 hours as a battery saving measure. It does take CR2 batteries.
Okay.
So you just, should be in here. There's a little tiny screwdriver, which we need to get running, but there's a little yellow screwdriver that comes with this. Look in one of the red cases. You know the yellow screwdrivers, right? Yeah. And all you do is you just do that, and you can get CR2 batteries at like Buc-ee's.
Okay.
And otherwise leave these ones alone. If for some reason, this is something that occasionally happens with this model, if this pops off, it's just the casing for that, you can loosen this one up and spread it and put it back in. There's like a groove here.
Okay.
All right. It doesn't affect the functionality. There's a metal version of the knob underneath it, but yeah, otherwise it's a pretty sturdy piece of equipment. I love this thing.
Would there be any issue of basically programming both sides of it to her collar so that way we can use either one,
Well,
just depending on how we're holding it?
Yes, you can do that, but here's the issue, okay?
Or is it more of if it's in the palm of your hand, you might accidentally activate it?
Well, so you won't usually be holding this, and if you are, you need to be really thinking about what levels you're at. So what I can do to help with that is I can turn this off of rising stem to like a Nick, and I'll turn it to level 1, and same here. All right, so that both of those are on level 1. For whatever reason. Because your finger kicks. So this is step number 1. So go ahead and stop that